RV&FJ plus reviews.
Hello and welcome back to our latest build. I ordered this Demello Offroad Stage 4 swing out rear bumper 13 months ago, and it's finally arrived. I am so excited. Now, time to get it home. First thing we gotta do is to undo all of the plastic cladding off of the bumper. This is to the right of the door. This little clip comes out, and then on the other side, for some reason, it uses a screw. And this is between the door and body on the left side of the door opening. This is underneath the vehicle. Now it's on both sides. Then you give it a good yank, and off she pops. Pull off the other side, and it's free. You do need parts of this, so don't get rid of it.
That's good.
And we can get rid of this, or you can try and resell it. This is the actual rear bumper underneath all the cladding. It's welded to the two left and right frame rails. You have to take all these little pieces off here. They're in the way. There's 4 of them. And then you have to remove this little piece of trim. Pop these off so you can get the bumper extensions off.
Okay.
Yeah, there's the bumper extension. That's how it came off. And you need pieces here. Here's the instructions. They are not very easy to understand. You have to read them 4 or 5 times before you go, okay, I think I know what to do. And here you can see where they've drawn lines. I tried to recreate those lines on my parts, but it seemed to be too much stuff and I couldn't get the bumper off, so I ended up having to trim more. So better to take off less and then take a little bit more off here and there until you have it right. My second attempt, I ended up taking off too much. So go slower than I went. All right, just a bit more trimming here, and we're finally done. Or at least that's what I thought at the time, but I still need to trim more off. This bracket goes on first. It goes to the underside of the frame rail, right here. A couple of bolts, you just want to put them in hand tight just for now. Then attach the hitch receiver. So that bracket that you put on the frame, you can see it from underneath there. And you can see the bolts that go through the upper part of the bumper. Now I've moved inside. I'm going to pre-install KC Highlights Gravity G4 LED lights. They're very tough to do. Putting them on in such a limited space is, with my big fat hands, is not going to work very well. It was cold out, so I came inside to mount the lights. Don't tell Deb that I used the kitchen counter. I don't think she would like that. But I did put a towel down. At least that's something. Do yourself a favor. A pro tip from a non-pro. Do this on a bench. First step is to get it into this slot. You see that slot right there? That's where the base of the light is going to sit. Get rid of the protective covering because I don't think I could reach in and grab it afterwards. This was difficult. I know it looks like I just stuck it in there and then hooked on the washer and the bolt, tightened it down, and I'm done. This was over an hour of work because I would start to do it, the bolt would fall off. Or I would get the washer on, then I'd get the nut started, and then before it would thread on, so then the bolt would pop out, and then I'd have to start all over again, pull the light out and go again. All right, so this is where the corner is going to go, but I still need part of this trim. Of course, I didn't make it small enough, so I have to cut some more away. And I went a little too far on this try. I think I took a little too much off. I would leave about 1/4 to 1/2 of an inch away from this intersection. See how I cut all this out? I think I cut it too close. Here you go, it fits in there, but you can see on the top portion that I cut away that I left a lip, but I didn't leave much of a lip on the side part. Do yourself a favor, leave a little bit more of a lip. Now here are the bolts. I got to take these out because the sides go in with this. Now I can put this in, get those 2 bolts back in just to get it to hold up in place. Getting this corner and the bumper to mate up is not an easy task. That corner bumper weighs a lot, and every time you have to push up on it, your arm starts to get tired. Plus, you need 2 hands to get the bolts in, so you kind of need 3 hands. What I should have done was got a little bottle jack and push it up just to hold it in place. Now here from underneath, I'm trying to get all the bolts in. There's 4 bolts tying the corner to the bumper. You can see that some are facing one way, some are facing the other. However it took to get them in there, I used a combination of all kinds of tools. I used a regular combo wrench. I used a deep set offset box wrench. I don't know if you ever saw one of those, just a box wrench, but it has a deep offset on it. You'll see it later in a picture. And then a socket and a couple of different, a short, a medium, and a deep socket to see if I can fit them in there. Here I am tightening up the bottom some more, which then moves the other pieces. You can see they're only in there finger tight right now. Once I'm happy with where they are, then I can go ahead and tighten those 4 bolts up above. There you go, trying to find the right combination of wrench and socket to fit up in there. Again, this was hours and hours of work. And you can see I got them all in there. Some of them are facing one way, some are facing another. Whatever it took to get the job done. But now it's time to put the swing arm on. I started out by greasing the pivot point with Lucas Oil Red and Tacky Grease. Next up, which bearing goes where? The instructions were really bad. I couldn't tell which bearing went first, whether it went upside down or right side up, and then what order all the other parts go in. Does the other bearing go on top with it? Does it go on top after the arm's on? Nothing in the instructions was clear. There were instructions for it, but none of it made enough sense. It's almost as if it was generic. I had to figure this out myself, so I had to put it together. Nope, doesn't work. Take it apart. Let's try a different combination over and over and over again. I tried to beat it in with a board. It didn't work. I tried to beat it in with a socket. Eventually, I got the right combination, and I'm not even sure what I did right. And if one of these bearings went bad, I wouldn't know which one to reorder to do it with because I don't remember which one was which. I'd have to order them both and replace them all together, including that little separator that's in there. But it ended up working in the end. That's all that really matters. This was 2 hours of work. Figuring out the combination and getting the arm on and letting it swing back and forth was 2 hours of work. It may have been more, I don't know. Next up, mount the tire. This was a lot easier, although it wasn't the easiest thing in the world, but I didn't even have the gas cans on yet, and I don't have a 35-inch tire on there yet. I can only imagine how tough it's going to be with a big one. Now here we're having an issue, which I didn't understand fully at the time. You can see here, it's not closing. The arm is too high. Now I've gotten it squared away here and I've got it to latch, but what I had to do was I had to loosen this just a hair and then I had to push down hard. So I'm hoping that what it is missing is weight. That weight will make it go down. So I put the cap back on and now what I'm doing is I'm putting on the jerry can holder. This uses 4 bolts. This is something I don't like. All the hardware for this thing was in standard instead of metric. When you're making something for a metric vehicle, just spend the extra couple bucks and put the metric hardware in there. So this installs very easily because it was prepped for it. I put a new jerry can in there, take the label off, and now this is the tie down. But what doesn't it come with? It doesn't come with the bolts to hold it down. Why? Why didn't they include them? This is where the license plate goes and it's light, but we need to put it here. We need a light, and because the license plate is now on the swing arm. We also need to put the camera here, the backup camera. So we're gonna open this up. Watch how this clicks into place to keep it from going too far. Click. Now we're gonna get in here, open up the window so that we can get to some of the pieces easier. And this is the back of the door. We're gonna have to remove it. I'll lay out all my tools. Just remove those 2 covers, 2 10mm bolts real quick. And then pry up. I should have used the right tool. I used a screwdriver because I was going too fast. And here is the tire carrier, and inside of it is the backup camera. Remove that so that we can transfer it to the swing arm. A quick cut into the vapor barrier exposed these 2 wires, this green and white wire. I cut them, they give me the license plate light. This one that I cut gives me the backup camera. There was a red, a black, a white, and then this twisted set that went around the wires. I'm sure to keep it from interference from getting from the back of the vehicle to the front display. So I made that a wire as well by twisting it together. Now here you can see I have extended all of them. I don't know if you can notice, it's really tough to tell, but see right there, that silver mark that I had on that black wire? That's to differentiate one from another. So here's all 6 of those wires coming out. They go around and up the back of the swing out. And these are the connections to the backup camera. So I have moved the backup camera to the spare tire and I have connected it. The last 2 wires continue on until the little lights that I installed on the license plate. See that? So there's 2 little tiny LED bolts. So they're both bolt and they are lights. I zip tied them together so that they can't come apart, and then I'll tuck them back into the vapor barrier. And for now I put a little bit of tape on there, but I put a little corner, I bent the corner over because I want to do a better job down the road on both the wiring and this patch job in the plastic. So I left that there so I could pull it off easily when I decide to go back. Now to just pop the back piece over, I know you noticed that molly panel that I installed. I'll do that in another video later. We put these trim clips back on at the top. And put my 2 bolts back in. They're 10mm. And then put the bolt covers back on. So that is the brutal job of putting that in. Now, why didn't I just have somebody else do it? Well, they quoted me $900 for it, and I am just too cheap to pay $900. So I did it myself over 5 days. I don't know about you, tell me in the comments, but I think that came out great.